Hi, welcome back. Alright, so we're continuing our tour of rolls and tremolos. We're down here at the bottom of our score with the drum set and I guess you could call it the rack part. And I've actually changed over to a cymbal rack combo, the cymbals rack combo that's built into the template and VDL. It was a concert band combo, but I like the extra plethora of some cymbal sounds we've got going on in this particular combo, so I switched to that one. Alright, a few notes about cymbal rolls and these sort of sounds in general. The concert bass roll would be another good one. Any sort of crescendo swell roll that has a definite peak that doesn't loop. When dealing with those sorts of samples, it could only record so many different lengths. So if you maybe had a whole note roll right here, it might not necessarily be able to peak right on beat 1, simply because it can only record a few different lengths without making the library too huge. So we fortunately have live start position. Notice it's grayed out because we don't actually have any notes entered right there. So I'm going to go ahead and experiment with a few sounds. Let's give this a little listen so we can get a tempo read. Alright, nice little drum set groove there. Alright, so with that in mind, just kind of think of that tempo in your head. I'm going to play back a few different cymbal sounds. That's a little short. Seems a few counts too long, so I'm going to go ahead and, that was the medium cymbal roll. I'm going to go ahead and try the China cymbals. Way too short. That's probably actually pretty close. Now, the cool thing about this cymbal rack combo is it actually has... it uses the whole technique text idea that we covered earlier, but rather than being edge, halfway, and center, here we use low, medium, and high. So you're actually getting, here's the low sound because the mod wheel's down, the medium sound, and the high sound. So if you wanted to use those sounds, you could just use the technique text and then play back that cymbal sound. I'm just going to stick with the low just for the sake of keeping it a little bit simpler right now. Alright, so I think that medium cymbal sound is one I want to go with. The China cymbal was a little bit closer in terms of length, but I think I'm going to go with this medium low cymbal sound. So let's go ahead and enter that in. And remember, we have to have the tremolo for it to play back. Let's kind of show you if I play that, nothing's actually going to happen unless we have at least a 2 or 3 note tremolo. I'm going to use the 3 note tremolo. I'm going to add a tie here and then hit R to copy it on over. Just because I actually like to have the sort of dangling thing going on here. Whoops. Have a dangling tie on the end just to give that the idea that it's a sustained roll that's supposed to be let to ring. Alright, so let's play this back and see what we got going on. So if you kind of pay attention, I want to play that again. Check out where that actually peaks. It sounded to me like it was somewhere right around here. Go ahead and give it another watch and listen. So it's almost like it was right in between beats 3 and 4. So the idea here is that we're going to use live start position to make it start earlier. Rather than peaking here, we want it to peak here. So let's just, for the sake of rounding it off on an even count, we're going to back it up 3 counts. So remember that 1 quarter note is 256. So I've already kind of done the math in my head. If we want to back it up 3 counts, then we're going to need to back it up 768 counts, give or take a few numbers. So I'm going to select my roll here, go to live start position, and it's going to be negative 768. So let's play it back from here and see what we've got. Alright, so that was a little bit closer to what we're wanting. Now, something else that's also kind of important to note is generally when you write out suspended cymbal rolls, you would probably, let's see, I'm going to hit Command E, bring up my technique, or my expression text rather. We want it to end fortissimo. The problem here is that this sound, the peak here, is actually being triggered back here. So to make sure that the sound actually gets triggered at the volume I want, I'm going to hit Command E. And I don't actually want to see the dynamic. You can actually use the whole tilde idea here in much the same way you can other technique text. So if I hit tilde, hold down Command FF, or if I wanted to, I could right click, choose it here from the contextual menu. Now, if I play this back, I think I'm going to get a bigger, fuller sound. So it's a little bit louder than last time. So that's just kind of a nice little trick to use. Could have covered that earlier in the expression text thing, but I didn't want to layer on too much information there. So one way you could go about using this is perhaps put that there. Let's see, let's go ahead and just write the whole thing in again. Start at piano, tilde, fortissimo. So now, if I was to go up and say view hidden objects, that's what we're going to see. So let's go ahead and add a hairpin. It's H. So now it's a little more like what you would expect to see from a suspended cymbal roll. So that's basically it. In the next lesson, we're actually going to start talking about the idea of velocities and working with accents and taps and kind of honing in those ideas. But we'll actually just kind of be doing an overview in the next lesson. So we will see you next time.